Hi everyone, this is Dina, the Nightly Stitcher, and I'm back for Flosstube number 12. It's August 31st, the last day of August, and I needed to get this in before September 1st. Bet y'all were expecting Tootie today, but this is Hannah. Hannah is one of two siblings. We have Hannah and Teddy. We also have their dad. Their mom passed away a few years ago, and so we just have the three of them right now that are related. We have Isabel, who we adopted also, and of course Tootie, who's the star of the show most of the time. But anyway, I thought I need to introduce some of the others. So this is Hannah. She's about 9 years old now, and she has a distinctive personality. She's so funny. She's funny and talkative. She always has to have the last word when you're talking to her. She has to be the last one to say anything. Gets in trouble a lot. Likes to get on the back of the couch and bark at anything that moves outside. And let's see, what else? What else about you that's pretty interesting? I know. She's afraid of smoke alarms when they're low. They when the little beeping sound with a low battery just sends her over the edge. Yesterday I tried to use a staple gun. It done the same thing. Every time I popped the gun, she started shaking. And she hates my husband's air compressor when it kicks on. So she is oh, and the bug zapper we have out in the backyard. We have to set the timer to come on late and turn off early, so it does, because otherwise she won't go out in the backyard. So she is definitely one of a kind. So I thought I'd let you see Hannah, and she's gonna go now and probably do some barking in the background if you've ever watched my other videos. So I told you, see, Hannah, no. So anyway, like I said, I'm Dina, the Nightly Stitcher. You can find me here and over on Instagram. I do have a Facebook under my name, but I don't share any of my stitching related things on there. So it's just going to be Instagram if you want to check out my stitching. Yeah, Flosstube 12, August 30th, last day of the month. August 31st, last day of the month. I want to welcome everybody that has stopped by to watch my video. I want to thank everybody that's been watching them all along or come up on a few and decided they wanted to subscribe. I appreciate that. And my long haul people who've watched me from the start, I love reading your comments. Appreciate all the kind words you're saying. It gives me a lot of, well, what do we call it? A lot of confidence, that's what I was looking for. It gives me a lot of confidence to keep doing these, because it was really tough to, anybody that takes 3 years to decide to do a floss tube has a confidence problem. So I finally dove in, and your kind words and is appreciated, and I love reading all of your comments. So anyway, today I have a little bit of life update, not much. I wanted to talk about some expo releases that I have to have. I don't have a lot, but a few that I have down. And you know, as you all know, I don't need any more charts. I have probably 1,500 charts, but there's always room for a few more. And then finishes and hauls, I don't have either one of those, but I do have some starts and my whips. Plans for Sampler September, and then we're going to look at the box of B charts. We looked at the A's and one B set of B's, but I have all of these. And when I went to put my charts up from last week, or from the last video of the B's, I found another one. So we actually have two two boxes of B charts, to B as in the letter B, designers that start with B. I have 2 of those to go through, and we'll look at those at the end. So anyway, let's kind of get started. This last couple of weeks since I did my last floss tube, I've made a few project bags and got them in my Etsy shop, which you can find the link below. And then on my daughter's shoulder surgery that I told you about last time, it's going real well. She's still in a sling. I think she's supposed to be in a sling for 6 weeks, so 4 to 6 weeks. And then I think she goes back to the doctor. She went back to the doctor last week, and I think she goes back in 2 more weeks. And can't remember if it's 2 or 4 weeks they'll be putting her in physical therapy, which ought to be a lot of fun. So the winner of the fabric finally got claimed. The fabric that I was giving away from my 3,000 subscribers. Wid Crew was the name I drew the last time. And she contacted me, so I have those going out in the mail. And if you're watching this, I'm sorry I haven't gotten that in the mail yet, but I'm planning on doing that this week. I told you last week, but I haven't been out. My husband usually runs to the post office for me, so we'll get them out to you though. So anyway, a lot of expo going on YouTube, people talking about the new releases and all, and I'm going to attempt to show some pictures. I did figure out how to do some editing on my phone, so I am going to try to insert some pictures up here as I talk about them. 2 of them that I really thought was cute. Of course, there were so many designers and so many cute charts, but the ones, and I'm sure I'll buy more of them, but the ones that were on my have-to list, Lila Studio, or I believe is how it's pronounced, Lila Studio. I used to have a sister-in-law named Lila, and it's spelled different, but I think this is still pronounced Lila. Noel in Blue, I guess is how you pronounce it, and Noel in Red. They were little sweater charts, ornaments. They're so cute, and I think Vonna Pfeiffer finished them for Lila Studio, so they are just super cute. So if you haven't seen them, look them up. And then Hello Halloween was a Teresa Kogut that I love that piece. I am such a Halloween person, though. I just love decorating for Halloween, and that is a piece that I really, really like. Vintage Cats was another one of hers that I thought was really cute. It reminds me a lot of the Cat and the Owl by Misty Purcell from Luminous Fiber Arts, but those were headshots of a cat and a owl, and they have that vintage look. And Teresa's is the full cat body, so I think those were really, really cute. Kringle's Flying Academy by Silver Creek Samplers, one of the 2, I'm sorry. That one was so cute. I have the Witches Flight Academy, I think is what it is. I wanted to start that for this year, but I don't know if I'm going to or not. I got so much going. And then the last one that was on my must-have list was Antonia Garcia by Jan Hicks Creates. I love this chart. I mean, to me, that is, Jan Hicks really topped it with that. I love that chart. I have to have that chart. It's just one of those sampler charts that it's a must-have. So that was what I saw in Expo, and like I said, there's tons of other charts out there that are super cute and gorgeous, but these are my must-haves for right now. as of right now, we're planning on, my husband's going to take me down to Galleria towards the end of September. We're about an hour and a half from St. Charles, Missouri, so we're just going to drive down for the day and hit all the rooms and then see what they have, do a little buying, and come back home. So that's coming up. And then like I said, I didn't have any finishes this time. I didn't have any haul this time. So other than showing you my Sampler September plans, I don't have a lot of cross stitch to show this time other than charts. I have a little what I call storage unit finds. I've mentioned before my husband buys storage units, and he's always bringing stuff home to me that he thinks I might like. So I do have 3 pieces there that I'm going to show you. Let's see. On my starts, I was so nervous starting this. This is, I showed in previous Flosstube the box that my husband had gave me for Jeanette Douglas's, let me see what it's called, My Stitching Treasures. So we were at Shepherd's Needle and saw it stitched up, and I had this pattern for a long, long time. I had the pattern, I had the floss pack and the charm pack. I didn't have any fabric, and I really wanted the box. So he was going to buy it for me while we were there, but they didn't have it in stock. So they ordered it and then shipped it to me, and then he gave it to me for Christmas. So I knew I was getting it, but that's okay. We do that a lot. So anyway, I started this, and let me get a kind of a close-up shot. It has all these little sections, lots and lots of specialty stitches. I think y'all are probably going to hear my washing machine in the back upstairs, but it says, all I need is silk and linen. Wait a minute, I read that wrong. All I need is silk and thread, linen so fine, a golden needle, and stitching time. And then up here at the top, up in this part here, you have alphabet and the numbers. It says My Stitching Treasures in there, and there's a whole lot of charms that go on it. So this is the, well, let me show you this first. And I even took it off of my frame so you could see the whole thing. I have the blocks all laid out for the top, and I started, let me see if I can pull you a little closer. I got the grapevine done on this side. Those are road stitches, and boy, this piece is going to take a lot of concentration, so it is definitely not a beginner piece. The little leaves that come up the side and across the top, there's a pattern, a light, medium, and dark green, light, medium, dark green, and they're little straight stitches. So they go across there, and then I quit last night over here. I didn't feel like doing the ones coming down the side because it takes, like I said, it takes a lot of concentration, it takes good lighting, and a magnifier. So I'm using my Bright Tech magnifier. It also has lights around the edge of the magnifier, and then I'm using my BenQ light. And if I did talk about the BenQ light in one of my other videos, and if you're looking for a excellent light for stitching, the BenQ light is great. I primarily use my Bright Tech light for the magnifier. The light's okay, but now that I have the BenQ light, it's really good. But anyway, it's a mirror image. There's almost all of this up here is stitched over one thread, the alphabets and the numbers. There's a peacock on both sides. Let me get this back out. I'll show you. But I can get it up there close enough. I don't know if I can. Let me try it this way. There. So the peacock, the alphabet, that's all over one. So it's going to take a lot of time and magnifier and good lighting to do that peacock and those alphabets. And then it has really nice directions. It has, let me get rid of this piece and just quickly show you, if I can find that page real quick. They're really good about giving you like individual, let me get it this way, giving you individual instructions, like box 4, box 5 gives you the instructions, box 6, and then there's a diagram that has all those boxes numbered, so you know what to do in each box. And it shows a lot of specialty stitches, how to do them. So this is not going to be something that's going to be whipped out in just a short time. It's going to be pretty involved, so I'm okay with it. I'm not that fast of a stitcher. And then I had the kit with the threads, and these are the, see, I hate stringy threads. I'd much rather have bobbins. I don't like this stuff, but I have to live with it. But this is all silk. There's Gloriana, needlepoint silk, Splendor silk, Gloriana silk, silk in colors. And it feels so nice, and I love the colors on it, but I don't like dealing with all them strings. Let's see. That was my only start. I did start it on August 23rd and stitched on it. I've been stitching on it since August 23rd. Oh, I forgot to tell you, it's on old stationery, 32 count old stationery. So, and I have enough of that. There's one that's a companion piece. It's called My Stitching Treasures Accessories. And it's like a pinwheel, and I think there's a scissor fob. What else is in there? Might be a needle case. I don't remember. There's some different things. And then the inside of the box is lined with a band of alphabet. So it's really neat. So I have that. I don't have any of the, like, I think it takes beads and charms and a thread pack for that. So I'll have to see if I can get it or make do with something else, because those patterns are kind of old. But I have a long time to get those done. But I started on the 23rd, and I've stitched last night, up till last night on it still, but I'll stitch on it today some, or tonight, probably not today, and on the 28th of August, I did a whopping 39 stitches. So, you know, people say they just can't, sometimes they lose their mojo, and, you know, that night, that's the way I was. I've always said, if you don't feel like stitching, you know, try a little bit, and sometimes you get back into it. And I'm going to turn this because you can see my sloppy living room where my stitching chair is with all my crap laying around it, and it's going to go back. But anyway, let me show my tree. But anyway, you know, if you don't feel like stitching, try a little bit, and if you don't feel like stitching, put it up and don't. But a lot of times it'll get you back in it. And that day I don't know, I was tired. Didn't have anything necessarily why I didn't want to stitch. I just was tired, and I did 39 stitches and called it quits. So sometimes you just have to do that. So on my whips, I have only worked on, besides starting that one, whoops, I forgot to take this one out. I worked on my Blackbird freebie design, and I got quite a ways on it. And I don't know what color hang on. I don't know what color the linen is. The thread is Gentle Art Apple Cider. So I got that much done, and then I got down to the border. So I don't have too much more to do on it, but I'm not working on it right now. It's like put it away for a while and try something else. And I've been making those plans on paper for my September samplers, and then I had to get everything pulled together for it. So we've got that coming up. I don't know. Let me look. I think, just a second. I'll show you my cup this time. Leave me alone. I'm only speaking to my dog today. I should take a Sharpie and put an S on there. My husband's off fishing with a friend again, so this is a good time to do my floss tube. So anyway, September plans. Let me drag my basket over here. I have set up for September some, wait a minute, I got a magnet to grab something. So like I said, I don't know who started Sampler September. I know there's some people doing Spooky September, but I'm going to do Sampler September. This is one that I've had started for a couple of years. I started this in May of 2019. And this is by the Historical Sampler Company, and this is a spring kit. Oops, this is the spring kit. And I'm doing pretty good on it, so I thought I might as well work it in and do some more on it through the month. I haven't decided as far as, oops, sorry, I didn't mean to do that habit. I haven't decided whether I'm going to do a set number of stitches or days or what, so I'm just going to do it. You know, I've always said I don't do well with things set in stone, so if I pick this up and don't want to stitch on it, decide I want to stitch on another one, I'm going to put it up and stitch on another one that day. But this is what I have left. I wasn't paying attention with the pattern. And HS, I think, is Historical Samplers, and 05 was the year that came out. So I have to take these out and put my initials and year in it. And I don't, move it up just a bit. Looks pretty good, pretty clear. So again, I don't have too much to do. I just have to bring that border down and across and back up, and I think there's something that goes in here, but I don't have a lot to do on it. There's the colors, my stringy threads where I park them. Then next I have that I was going to continue to work on, and these are what I was talking about, the sleeves I make out of pillowcases for my pieces. This was a pillowcase that my mom had made a long time ago, and I just took a piece of fabric and wrote Mary 395 and safety pinned it to it, so that when it's folded over and it's in the crate, I know which one it is. So yes, Mary 395. Let me get the pattern out. So this is Mary 395. From Hands Across the Sea, and I don't have a lot done on it, but it's 40 count, so I have to have my light and magnifier, so that's all I've got done right now. So I'm going to continue to work on that. I don't know the color I picked for this. I don't know if I dyed it myself or bought it that way. It almost looks like a tea dye, but it doesn't have a lot of modeling in it. So that one is going to be a Sampler September piece. The next one is, okay, I got 5 pieces for Sampler September. 2 are pieces I already had, that samplers that I've been working on, and then I'm going to do 3 new starts. And one of them, I love this piece and I've been wanting to start it, so I've included it. It's Miss Lucy Calcutt, 1825. I've had this for a while and I really like it. So that, and again, I don't know what color this is. So sorry about that. I just got it out of my stash, and I don't have, if I'm lucky if I find a name of the fabric on anything in my stash, because it gets used. I used to pull the tag off and pitch it, and so now I'm going to try to do a little better about it. But this piece is just so pretty. And the colors, grab all of these, because I grabbed bobbins, but I had to have a lot of, and I have all the DMC colors, but I have a lot of bobbins tied up in other projects, so I had to pull a lot of skeins. So let me try to get this organized here a little bit, and I'll show you the colors. So these are some of the colors. Whoops. Some reds and blues and quite a few browns and light greens. Whoops, that one. And then here's some of the that I've already got on bobbins that you can kind of see some kind of pinky rose colors. They're rosier than what they're showing here, because like this is 3688. It looks like it's a bright pink there. It is kind of bright, but it's not quite as bright as it's showing up. So I got to get all those put around bobbins and on a ring. I do like to put them on a ring, but I don't care for the, oh, I did it again, floss drops. And then, oh, and Lucy Calcutt, I didn't have her, okay, hang on a minute, come here. You gotta turn around. Somebody wants to be seen. Say hi. Hi, yeah, say hi to everybody. Say hi, Flosstube. Yeah, Hannah got her moment in the show, so I gotta have mine too. Turn your butt around. Sit down. I didn't have any scroll rods that would fit for Lucy Calcutt, so yesterday my husband went and got some dowel rods and made me a couple of dowel rods. And so I have on some of them that he's made me. Let me put those down quietly. I have twill tape that I've glued down. I've tried stapling. I don't have any luck stapling. I don't get the staples in all the way. But I just used wood glue and glue the twill tape down along just one edge, real thin line of glue. But I'm not real happy with it because it's real thin. So I have this like strap stuff that I found in my drawer upstairs. And I tried to push a needle through it and it goes through it really easy. So I am going to glue this down today. Maybe today. I don't know. I always have these big plans that don't get done. But anyway, I'm going to glue just, you know, along one edge real. What I do is I glue, you all probably laugh every time I tell you my homemade stuff, but I'll glue one edge down to the board and then I take little strips of wax paper or plastic wrap and I kind of spiral it up the rod. So, and then it holds that down until it dries. So it works. I'm always coming up with something goofy but it works. So, you know, whatever works. So anyway, that's for Lucy Calcutt. This one, I bought this off of Stash and Load a couple of years ago maybe. And it's just a simple, I did want something that was just simple to do also, and this was a little kit. It's a card kit. It had everything in it to make this card. It's from, oh, it says designed by Better Homes and Garden Craft Kits, and it's cross-stitch Christmas card. But that was just a simple little card. I don't like to stitch on perforated paper, which was included. So I'm going to do it on linen. And this is just a little scrap piece of linen. There. Just a scrap piece of linen, and then this is the floss. So it's fairly bright colored. I'm kind of thinking about maybe once I get it stitched, I may dunk the whole thing into some tea and tone down the reds and greens just a bit, and then the fabric. So I'm not sure. That'll be something I'll decide a little later. So that was just a quickie piece. And then the last one that I'm going to start for Sampler September is, I'm running out of table space. I have crashed here in a minute. Pink Sparrow Sampler. Whoops, am I scaring you? I'm sorry. Pink Sparrow Sampler. When this came out, I thought it was pretty, but it just didn't. It's pretty sampler, but it was, I tend to go for brighter colors, but when I've seen it stitched up the first time, it was like, I'm gonna have to do this. Well, I put off buying it, and finally, I saw it done up again, and like, I've got to do the sampler. So I bought this, I think when we were on vacation this last year, and so that's gonna be one of my new starts for Sampler September. This is Pink Sparrow Sampler by Brenda Gervais, is it? Yes, Brenda Gervais. So that one, and I'm going to be putting it on this fabric. And again, I don't know oh boy, that's thin. That's the best I can do right now. But anyway, it's going to go on there. Hopefully this is not going to fall, but I think it's going to. Hang on, I'm going to have to scoot some stuff over. I guess it would make more sense to put the basket in the floor and throw the stuff in the basket. That was too easy. Okay, so that's it as far as what I've got to show you as far as stitching. And then we're going to look at charts in a little bit. Let me look. You're sitting on my notes. Okay, got that all taken care of, but I was going to try to mention some floss tubers that I watch. I pretty much try to watch like Brenda and the Cereal Starter and my regulars, Brenda and the Cereal Starter, Chrissy with Finally a Farm Girl. I just started watching Stitching with Mel. She is great. I like her really well. I just happened to run onto her, or I heard somebody talk about her. She's got a lot of videos out there, but she doesn't have the subscription count like I think she should have with her the number of videos she has. So I really wanted to mention her and have you all go out there and check out Stitching with Mel. She's really good. I love to listen to her talk, but go look her up. Subscribe to her channel if you like her, and get her numbers up there. But let me think who else I usually watch. Gosh, I'm blank right now. Isn't that terrible? Well, I watched Mouse Potato Designs. I had watched her a little bit in the past, and for some reason I had lost some of my subscription, or my subscription notifications or whatever, and I hadn't watched her for a long time, and then it popped up, so I went and watched 2 or 3 of hers the other day, and I do follow her on Instagram anyway, but I watched her, and she's got some really pretty stuff, and her latest video is really good. She had mentioned trying to, in September, maybe kind of have a little segment in her Flosstube to promote some of the floss tubers that are new, or they have quite a few videos, but their subscription count is not what it should be. So I really like that, and that's kind of what I was thinking, that it would be a great idea if we all kind of tried to promote some of those stitchers out there, those floss tubers that their numbers are kind of low, so we can try to help them get word out. And there's a lot of good ones out there. I watched the Paisley stitcher. Her name is Grace, and I watched her right after I did my last floss tube, so I really can't remember a whole lot about her, but I remembered enough to put her name down. So go check out the Paisley stitcher. The Sable stitchers, I watch them pretty regular. I watched them last night. So hopefully y'all can kind of check them out. Sometimes I do a YouTube search for Flosstube #1. So you can kind of scroll through and see if there's anybody that is fairly new that you haven't seen, that you can go check them out. I have some storage unit hauls. That's about all the haul I have. Like I said, my husband, he buys storage units, so whenever he runs onto some cool stuff, he'll bring it home. Sometimes I keep it, sometimes like, nah, I don't think so. But yesterday he brought these home, and this is a great time of year for him. It's a broom. Actually, I have 2 of them, so they're good size. So I think that's going to be pretty neat to put something cross stitch on. I'm looking for a broom, but not this big. I have Lottie Da's, what is that, a piece of wire. I have Lottie Da's Wicked Witch that I have finished, but I don't have it fully finished because I want to put it on a broom. But I think this broom's way too big for the piece because it's just maybe 4 by 8. It's not very big. So I think it'd kind of get lost on that broom, even if I decorate the broom up a little bit more. I don't know. I'll have to look at it and see. But then he got this tray. I got Tootie hair on me. This tray, which is pretty cool, just like it is. The paint job on the outside is kind of dinged up, but I said, you know, I could paint the whole thing, or I could just paint like the frame itself around here. The bad thing about it is it's been burned, so I don't know if I can paint over that, and it doesn't smell like burnt wood. I checked that yesterday because I thought I didn't want that smell in the house, but I'm wondering if I can put like some Kills over that and then go over it with some paint. So that's a maybe. And then the last piece he brought me, and I love this piece. This is so cool. Look at this frame. I don't know what would have gone in it, but it is such a neat looking frame. And I'm gonna have to paint it probably because it's really, really dirty. But if you can see up there, it's been rubbed off. There's even a cobweb still on it. I think there was another, see, it's kind of dinged up. But I think it would, I don't know whether just to try to touch this up with some paint that's close and leave the rest of it, because the rest of it's not in bad shape. But I love that top piece. And I don't know. What do you think? Not my mug. I wouldn't put my mug in something this pretty. But I love that frame. Okay, well, we are at the end of anything that I have to show except charts. So we can start on box number 2 of 3 in the B category under designers that start with the letter B. Tootie is taking up the table here. She gets away with so much. They all do, though. Who am I kidding? My dogs are so spoiled. They are like our kids, and we will bend over backwards to make them comfortable and keep them happy. So anyway, if you're not interested in looking at the charts, you know, this is a time to maybe go look at another floss tuber. I am going to just be showing charts right now. So I appreciate you stopping by. It was kind of a quickie one today as far as that. But anyway, I appreciate you stopping by and hope you enjoyed it. And if you like it and want to subscribe, I'd appreciate that. Give me a thumbs up on the video. That always helps. And yeah, I'll see you in a couple of weeks then. So we're going to start on the bees. These are going to consist of like blue flower, blue whale, bright needle. So one thing I did want to say, oh, hang on a minute. My legs are sticking to my chair. So I got to get another drink. I've had 3 or 4 people that have contacted me, and since I have so many out of print charts, I've had people that are wanting to see if they could borrow them. And I don't want to make this sound mean, but I don't lend my charts out. I'm sorry. I run a working copy. I keep them in the bags. I mean, once I stitch them, they are still like new. And I love my charts, whether I've stitched them or not stitched them, and I just don't loan them out to anybody. You know, I know most people are honest, but there are some people out there that if it's an out-of-print chart, I loan it to them. I may never hear from them again, and I may never get that chart back. Plus, if I don't keep track of where they're going, you know, and somebody's taken a year to get a chart stitched, then I may forget who's got it and or whatever, and I don't want to do that. I don't understand this whole out of print chart thing, and I know, so don't bombard me with trying to explain this, because it just makes no sense to me. If there are out of print charts out there and the designers don't want to release these charts, I cannot understand why you can't make a copy of it, because the designer is not making money off of their charts anyway if they're not in circulation. But yet you can buy them for high dollar on the secondary market. The designer's not making those high dollars. The person that's selling them's making them. So, and then 2, if, like I said, I make a working copy, and I'll have my chart, my original, in my bag, but I make a working copy, and I use highlighter and all that stuff. So I'm never actually stitching on from my working copy. Now, I have that copy over there, my working copy. And I hope this makes sense the way I'm explaining it. Say I would send this chart to somebody, and they make a working copy. And they have this chart, and they're stitching, but they're actually stitching from the working copy. What is the difference between that and making a copy? So if you borrow a pattern, it makes no sense to me how this all works. You see, I just don't understand, because the designer isn't making money. If I loan somebody this chart, they're not buying it. So the designer isn't making money off of this chart by selling a second copy. If it's out of print, they're not making money off of it because it's not out there to buy. So this whole copyright thing I just can't figure it out. I don't understand it. But anyway, it is what it is. I just wanted to let everybody know that I just don't want to be mean about it and make it sound hateful and make it sound like I don't trust people. But, you know, I just protect my charts and I just don't loan them out. So I hope that doesn't make anybody mad. I hope the ones that I've responded to understood that and, you know, continue to watch. And if they don't, I'm sorry if they got mad, but it's just the way it is. So, all right. So we're going to start out with blue ribbon designs. And I have quite a few blue ribbon. This is called red letter ornaments. I don't know on any of these, whether they're, let me pull you closer since we're going to be doing charts. It's going to tip you over. I've got my phone plugged in and it's stretched out about as far as it'll go. So this is red letter ornaments from blue ribbon. And somebody said for me to hold them up just a little bit longer so they could write the names down. So hopefully I will do that. This is called Small Tokens of Affection. Small Tokens of Affection. And so you can do the big chart or you can do the small pieces, which will look really cute in a box. And then I have Never Stop Growing, just a monochromatic sampler. Let me show you that one. Never Stop Growing. This one is called A Sampler for Mary Pat. And it says, give me a needle, antiqued linen, and some quiet time to stitch a sampler with colors so fine. And it's really pretty. I'm going to kind of hold these on an angle because of my windows over there. I'm back in the dining room again today. And this, again, was a sampler for Mary Pat. And it's Merry. And then I always had high hopes of doing this one because I love peacocks. And this is My Precious Treasures. So you've got the top of the box. And you've got all the little doodads to go in the box. I don't think that's one focused very well on the doodads. There is, I'm trying to figure out what they are. I think it's, shaker box lid, scissor fob, pin keep, needle book, scissor case, and a sweet bag, it says. I always wanted to do that. Blooming with Inspiration. This is one of those that you could do it all in one piece, or you could break it down and do smalls with it. I always thought some of their designs would make some really cute bookmarks because see the little ladybug? Is it focusing? I think that makes, you know, like a cute bookmark. This one is The Christmas House #2, Home for the Holidays. I like that. Red house. Home for the Holidays. And then here's one called a Bookmark Sampler. And they've put them all together. Wish I could keep that glare off of there. So a bookmark sampler, or you could do them in the individual bookmarks. Oh, just a minute. I started laying them upside down, then I started putting them right side up, so they're getting mixed up. That's my working copy. A lot of times if it's something I'm really wanting to do, I'll put a, hang on a minute, let me find it. I'll run my working copy when I get it. Oh, I can't find it now. I've got them turned around. Okay, yeah, this bookmark one, I went ahead and run my working copy and I put it in a sleeve so I have that ready to go when I'm ready to stitch on it. Sometimes I do that. Sometimes I just stick my patterns in there. So this is Christmas Wishes Volume 3. There's some cute little pillows to put in some dough bowls or just sit around. Christmas Wishes Volume 3. This one is Patience and Prosperity. I said I have a lot of blue ribbon. This is Christmas Ribbons, or Christmas Wishes, Volume 2. And I think blue ribbon's still designed, so you could probably find them. It says, may you find wisdom, may you find faith, may you find hope, and may you find friendship. This other one, let me put them together. This one says, Christmas Wishes Volume 3, may you find love, may you find happiness, may you find courage. It's got the lions on there. May you find prosperity. And then I have Volume 1. So I have all three of these. And it's, may you find peace, may you find joy, may you find harmony, and may you find solitude. These would be kind of quick to sew up. It's just getting in gear and getting them done. This one is called Proud and True. With my needle and thread of red, white, and blue, I stitch this sampler so proud and true. And then you put your initials and the year. This one would be a great one for right now. It's Autumn Leaves and Sunflower Seeds. And it's a sampler. And again, you can do the smalls. This is really cute. I haven't gotten into fall stitching. I don't know. I haven't even got my fall out. I did my tree, and I haven't even brought my fall stuff up from the basement yet, so I really need to get in gear and do that, but I just haven't. I guess if I wait long enough, I'll just get Halloween out. This is Butternut Road, and it is Summer Sampler. And this is, it actually calls for 18 count, and you stitch 1 over 2. So this would come out huge. And I think you use pearl, oh, you use watercolors. And I think I also have this in a kit. I'm not sure, but I think I have it in a kit. But I wouldn't do it with that because I don't like things that big. I mean, I don't stitch on fabric that large. Does that make sense? I'd rather do it smaller. This one is called Rose Sampler. It's really a dark picture. I wouldn't do it on that dark of a linen. But it's by, or it says, ooh-wee, that is dark. It's got the alphabets, it's got the numbers, and it's got Roman numerals. When this you see, remember me. So, it's pretty. This one is a pretty one. It's Winter Sampler by Butternut Road. And then we're on to By the Bay. And oh, that's my, there's some corrections on blue ribbon designs. Let me stick those with my blue ribbon patterns. Some corrections I guess I found on their website. Okay, By the Bay Nantucket Summer, I think it says Sampler. The price tag is right over it. Maybe it says on the back. Yes. Nantucket Summer Sampler. I'm going to have to get this one close because it's kind of small. But isn't that pretty? Well, it's kind of blurry now. Come on. There. So, I like to do, I think I've done a couple of by the bays. And I stitch them over one so they come out small. This one is by the bay, Gathering Place Sampler. That's really cute. Golly, can you imagine the green? All that green grass. That's why they call it that damn grass. Because by the time you're done with this green up here, you say, I still have this much damn grass to do. This is a Britter Cup Designs, and I've got the buttons with it. It's Share in the Christmas Spirit. Come on, glare. And it's very cute. This is Britter Cup Design. It calls for buttons, but I don't have it. I guess I got it for a whopping 25 cents. Winter Frost. That was a big spender there. I love checking out thrift stores though, because you never know what you're gonna find there. I found everything from linen and patterns and scroll rods, and you just never know. This is Better Homes and Garden, Plain and Fancy Alphabets. It's just an alphabet book. This one is by Blue Whale Designs. These are old. I don't know. I know they don't design anymore. Surely they don't. Because I've never seen anything new coming out. Ghosts and Goblins, and they're cute. They're very cute little designs. They make some cute little pillows or ornaments. Well, let me lay that one to the side because I know I have some more of those. This is, I guess, it's pronounced Bleu de Chine. I'm not sure because this is the writing on the back and it's not easy to read. So I'm assuming it's French. The chart is done, oh, you're not going to see much of it anyway, but the chart is done by computer, but their color code is done by hand. So anyway, this is, well, it doesn't have a name, but it's a Halloween piece. Wonder if nope, that doesn't work either. I was thinking if I could put something there. It's very cute. This is another Bleu de Chine, and it's got peacocks, which I love. They don't have their tails fanned out, but they're peacocks. And no name. This is another Bleu de Chine or Shin or whatever. Christmas. And this one is just a winter scene. Pretty. This one is a sampler. Oh, this is a blue whale. It kind of got out of my order. A sampler for Christmas, and I've always wanted to do these. I love this one here with this skinny little Santa. And you know, it's just simple. It's not packed full of stuff. There's a lot there, but it's not crowded or anything. And I think that's why I like it. There is the Santa here, like the one over there, and it's hard to see, but there's snowflakes down, all the way down in front of him. And then there's the two deer. One deer would make a cute little ornament. I like making Christmas ornaments. All right, let's see. I think this one is by Bee Stitch, Summertime Sampler. And I have one, and I think it must be the spring sampler that I've stitched. I haven't stitched these. I have one of these magazine things that when I said in my last one, when I stitch something, I'll put the chart over in there, and then I have it labeled that that it's patterns I've already stitched. Gosh, next time I'm gonna put a towel in this chair. It's killing my legs. This one is Wintertime Sampler by Bee Stitched. Go this side. Maybe it's a little clearer over here. I gotta get it just right there. It's pretty with the cardinals. That's Wintertime. And then this one is Autumn. And I have, like I said, I have the spring and it has rabbits on it. It's real similar to the rest of the sampler part, but it's got the rabbits. This is one I always wanted to do and never have started it. It's by Barbara and Cheryl, an American Sampler. I think this is really pretty. And I think, no, it's not. I'm not sure. But this is really a pretty one. Now we're on to Bright Needle, and then that's all of this box. So this is Bright Needle, the Needle Workshop. Pull it up a little closer. The dogs are getting restless. So that's the Needle Workshop. This is House on Blueberry Lane. Hope you can see these. Some of them look kind of small, so I hope they're going to come out clear for you. This is Bright Needle, Pretty in Pink, Pretty in Pink, Pin Keep and Fob. It's cute. And you do the front and the back. The front is under my hand, and the backs are just simple little pieces that you can do the back on those. This is Bright Needle Spooky Halloween. Go back over here. And I ran a copy of a working copy, and I enlarged it because I was going to do them in ornaments. So like right down here is enlarged of the little squares, and I even got my floss card there, and I never have started it. This is, wait a minute, because I got my color key in here. Let's see, because I wrote all my color key down. And this is Esmerelda's house. It's one I always wanted to do. So let me, did I hold that up long enough? I might have not held that up long enough because it's got a lot of cute things to look at. There's a skeleton and there's a ghost on the stairs. There's looks like a coffin in the attic. So there's that one. And then the last one I have is Christmas House. And that's by Bright Needle. So that is box 2 of 3 of the bees. So the third box of designers that start with B will be pretty much miscellaneous, you know, 1 or 2 patterns here or there, I believe, I think. I try to see what did I mark this one? Well, I just have blue ribbon on there, but I really should put Bright Needle on there. I am constantly reorganizing and trying to redo things to make it a little easier to find things or whatever. So we'll do the third box of bees on the next floss tube. So I think that's about it for today. I can't think of anything else. Let me know if you're participating in Sampler September and what you're either working on or starting, if you're participating in it. Like I said, I'm not sure who started Sampler September. So even if you know who started it, let me know. I didn't participate last year in it, but I thought it'd be fun to do this year. So not gonna do. I haven't really participated in much this year because I've had so many other things going. I didn't do Mania because I just kind of wanted to do what I wanted to do, and so I didn't want to start a bunch of stuff. What else was there? Jolly July, I didn't do it. I just stitched. And what else? I think there was some other stuff, wasn't there? Arbitrary August, but I stitch on whatever I want anyway. My Whip Go board, I might as well delete it from the computer because I just I've just quit that completely. I like to try stuff, but if it doesn't work for me, it just doesn't work. If it works for you, I'm glad it does, and I appreciate whoever comes up with these ideas. They do them, and they work for some, and they don't work for others, and that's the way it is. We all have different tastes and different ways of stitching. And oh, that reminds me, I did have somebody that wanted to know. I had mentioned on my last video that I stitch by watching the vertical thread, and she wanted to know what I meant by that. And I had this great idea of doing a little homemade stitching sample thing, and I just never did come up with it. I got it half done and then I haven't finished it. But what I wanted to show somebody if this works. Let me do it this way. I don't know if this is going to work and if you can even see it. Okay. Can you see that? So no, that's not going to work. Scrap that idea. Let me try to explain it. A lot of people stitch by watching the vertical thread, but I haven't heard a lot of people that talk about it. But what it is when you're stitching on linen, whether it's linen or even weave or either one of those, when you start your cross stitch, and I make my cross stitches from the bottom left to the upper right, and then I come straight down to the right and go back up to the upper left. So, and then when I do my second stitch, I come back down to where that bottom right stitch is. So when I start a thread, I take my needle up through the back of the fabric to the front of the fabric to the right of a vertical thread. So if you look for that vertical thread and just the hole that's right there beside it to the left, that's where you come up at. And then you're going to come up 2 threads and over 2 threads and go back down. Well, when you go back down, you will see you're in that same position on that vertical thread. You're still at that left side of the vertical thread. So if I can get this little thing put together, I'll show you, but maybe explaining it will help you anyway. But anyway, if you ever come up or go down and you see a horizontal thread to the right of your needle, then you have gotten off somewhere by 1 thread, by 1/2 of a stitch, unless you're stitching over 1. But if you just always watch for that vertical thread. People talk about they count their threads, or count up 2 and over 2. I don't even do that. I just watch that for the vertical thread. And now, I have to count if I'm skipping over or whatever. I have to count threads. But just general stitching, if I'm going to do a row of threads or a row of stitches, when you come up at that vertical thread, you can just your eye almost will see that next vertical thread at an angle where you need to go down. And it may take some practice to see that, but your eyes will eventually pick that up. I learned that years ago, and that was a game changer for me, because you don't have to worry about being off by a half of a stitch or one thread if you just always watch and always look for that vertical thread. I don't know if it's true or not, but I've heard that it makes your stitches look prettier when you come up to the left of a vertical thread. It's supposed to, I don't know, anchor your threads better. But I have this, like I said, I was going to take some stretcher bars, and I took some yarn. I've had some scrap yarn that I was going to do a little sample piece and show you how to do it. And you know, if you still want me to show you that, I can. I was also going to show you how to stitch over one and to keep your stitches from sliding under that thread when you're stitching over one. So let me know if you're interested in looking at that. I'll just work it in. It's a quickie little thing, so I wouldn't do a separate video on it, but I could work it in at the end for anybody that's interested. So anyway, I said 10 minutes ago this was it, and I kept going. So anyway, I think that's it for now. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. Let me know what you're stitching on if you're participating in Sampler September. And also, if you're participating in Spooky September, I'd like to see know what you're stitching on there. So that would be fun too. So I will be back in a couple of weeks, and I guess that's it. And I hope you have a nice 2 weeks, and I'll see you then. Bye.